Hey, what's up? Dennis Odeng here, and this is The Real Hustles, where we help you make an extra income working online. It could be through side hustles or your main hustle. If you're new here, be sure to subscribe, and if you're coming back again, thank you, because we want to offer you the best content always. Otherwise, today we want to look at the 5 potential dangers of working online and how you can avoid them. Now, these 5 are just representative. There could be several others, and I will be sharing more of them when I get them. Plus, I share more of these in my blog. So be sure to read my blog, which is in the link description below, because that way you get to learn even more. Now, on to the 5 potential dangers of working online. You know, when you are doing online business, working with people that you don't see, you don't know where they are located, you don't know if they're real or not, you could be talking to a bot, right? There are dangers that I would like you to be always aware of. And sometimes it's not even about the people, it's also just about you and the nature of the job itself. So what are these 5 things? I want to invite you to watch this till the end, because the 5th danger is very personal to me. It's one thing that I will share that happened to me personally that I don't want ever to happen to you. So make sure you watch this till the end, okay? So on to the first potential danger. We talk about being conned. Now that is very common, right? You talk about doing some job and then nobody pays for it, or having somebody talk you through some process and they tell you, hey, look, there is a deal here and we just need you to send in some money, right? We need you to send in some confirmation or some guarantee, and you see the deal looks too good, they sound very trustworthy, and then you're like, how much do they want? They just need $200. Then you look around and sometimes you have the $200 and you see, I don't mind if I lose this, let me risk it. Or as Kenyans say, to risk. Now, when you do that, what happens is you could be losing a potential $200. That is a cool 20,000 shillings that you could have used elsewhere. Now, being conned is very common, and some of the ways to avoid being conned online is to, first of all, insist on using safe ways of transactions if you must use it. So some of the safe ways of transacting online is using platforms such as escrow. PayPal is a bit safe, but it's also getting out of hand. But you can use PayPal because when the transaction is not confirmed, then you can request a reversal of your money, you know? So you can use PayPal or you can use escrow. And escrow is a tool where you simply agree with the other person that you will hold this money for a period of 1 or 2 days or whichever period you want, pending which you want to test the product and ensure that it works. So if you're working for a client and they say that they can't pay you on delivery, then you insist that they put it on an escrow account where both of you have access to it, and the third party, which is escrow. And then once you send the document or the work to the client, then the client will have to approve it, and upon approval, then they will release the money to you. That way you stand a less risk around losing your money. So you could insist on a payment processing account or a third party that holds the money for you. And another thing to avoid being conned is you want to be very keen on verifying documents. Now, think about documents like certifications. Such are very common because people can create these certificates online, and you find that sometimes you could be talking to 2 or 3 people on different phone accounts, right? So somebody could be talking to you through this WhatsApp account, and the other WhatsApp account, and they are the same person, and all they want is to get gigs from you, or they want to get money from you. Now you want to be able to verify where they're calling from. You could make a phone call, even if it is outside the country. You don't have to necessarily talk for long, but you could make a phone call to them, hear their voice, Ask them specific questions that will tell you that they're serious or not. There was a time I was getting freelancers to work on some gigs that I had, and they told me that they could handle some technical units. Now what I did is I made a call to them, and I ensured that I had specific tasks around the unit. And on the call I was like, okay, tell me about this. And they're like, I hung up because the guy didn't quite understand what he was talking about. He told me at first online that he could do it, but now having him on a call and he can't really explain to me what it's about, I had to just be sure that this person doesn't really know what he's talking about. So it's important to verify that, because then getting conned is real. You could get conned at any stage, and it's just really, really important that you learn the tricks. And again, in the blog, I will be writing more about this, because I can't talk about all the ways here, but I can write more about them, share with you some links on how exactly to do it, and I hope that you can learn something in the process, okay? So on to number 2. Another potential danger is distraction. Now, whether you already are working online or you're looking to work online, online is like a pool of everything. It's so many opportunities, so many flashy items coming around. You know, like this is good, that is good, this is good, and you don't know what to choose from. And you're like, okay, there are so many. And you know, our mind works on the pretext that when you have given so many opportunities to choose from, then you know what happens? You don't choose at all. And so you have access to so many opportunities. You watch these YouTube lives, you watch these YouTube videos, you see this, you see that, but then for 2-3 months, you're not taking action on any of them. Do you know why? Because of distraction. Now, you want to handle distraction by deciding. You have to really, really decide. And I have also put together a systematic way on knowing what kind of side hustles you can go into and which ones you shouldn't go into. Now, it's basically a checklist that you tick for yourself, and I have it in my blog. You basically download it, and in 2 to 5 minutes you can tick these and just determine this is the side hustle that I want to take. Now, you want to avoid distractions by making such decisions. So get into a place where you're deciding what side hustles you want, and then when you have decided on the side hustle you want to go for, it will determine the kind of content you watch, it will determine the kind of articles you read, it will determine the kind of steps you take. Then you are not feeding a lot of information and not taking action on them. So I want to invite you to kill distraction by decision. Kill distraction by decision. Decide and take action. The third potential danger is not meeting your income targets. Now, this is not so much of a danger, but it's a dangerous thing if you actually are not making money online after the first week, 2, 3, 4 weeks, or even a month or so. You need to already be making money within a certain period of time. So the maximum I could give is maybe say 1 to 2 months at the very end. You should be, after that you should have started getting some little income coming in. Now when you are not making money, then it's dangerous, because then what is happening? It could be that you are focusing on building something, but I want to invite you to also think in terms of you maybe not doing something. Because remember, our channel is about helping you to make an extra money. If you are doing your side hustle as a way or as a hobby, then that is entirely fine. Perhaps you are running a blog, but as a hobby, sharing your thoughts, then you don't have to make money, that's fine. But if you're running a business making blog, then 1 to 3 months is the best amount of time you can take to build that blog to start earning an income. So that is something to really, really think about. If you're not making money, it's a danger sign after a certain period of time. What about the fourth one? On to the fourth one, we talk about complacency. And remember to watch this to the end, because the fifth one is very personal to me, and I'll be sharing a story around that. So complacency, which is our number 4, is being complacent. It's like getting to a comfort zone and feeling in how I would say it, feeling like you have arrived at a certain measure of success. So as with any business, you could get to a space where you are already beginning to get some income. Now, if you are already making some income, why not push further? Why not go to another level? Because the much you make today can be doubled, can be increased significantly by efforts, by strategies, and by learning. And when you do that, you are also expanding internally. Now, you want to avoid getting into a comfort zone because comfort zones can really be a source of misfortune. And this is what I mean. If you get into a comfort zone, then what you are literally doing is you are again beginning to get relaxed around your quality. You're beginning to get relaxed about around your consistency. Maybe you're beginning to sleep a little more. You're beginning to do certain things without setting structures for them. So rather than being complacent, you want to set strategies to have the business run on its own to save you time to build others. I'll say that again. Rather than being complacent, you want to set structures and strategies to have the business run on its own so that it can save you time to build other businesses or to now have your comfort. Now, that is super important. But now, the number 5 potential danger now is very personal. And this is insecurity. Now, if you are building an online business, there is a lot of insecurities around it. But I think it's also very, how do we say it? I would say it's a misconception that permanent jobs are secure, because today and with COVID, we have seen people being laid off. We have seen people losing their jobs or facing pay cuts. And you've seen such happening. So insecurity in this case, I'm going to share my personal story so you really identify with it. So insecurity falls in different categories. One, it's insecurity if you don't have sufficient savings. Then if you are not saving some money, then you realize that something can hit you that really takes you way below than where you were last year. Or if it is not in savings, then insecurity in terms of your health. Remember, as an online business person, you are the person in charge of your business. Now, if your health is not well taken care of, then when you are unwell, then your business is not running. So what we are talking about here is really being secure around your health in terms of what you eat, but also in terms of getting an insurance cover. And when I talk about insurance cover, I'm not just talking about the national health insurance cover if you are from Kenya, which is NHIF. I'm talking about a private health insurance cover, which will guarantee that you and your family are well taken care of. And I will tell you an example for me where I got to a place where my son had an accident at some point last year, and the guy fell from the balcony to the stairs downstairs and broke his head and his arm. And all of a sudden we had to have him admitted in a facility hospital, and for a couple of weeks, 3, 4, 5 weeks into December, he was just he was undergoing operation after operation and taken care of by the doctors. And one of the things I realized at that time is when you don't have a sufficient medical cover, then you have to go into your pocket to have these bills taken care of. Now, it's amazing that NHIF can sort this for you if you are going to a national facility, but sometimes you realize that with the irregularities of NHIF around, and when I talk about this, I talk about this in terms of how fast you want the service to be done. And you know, when you see your child or yourself in need of quick service so that you can come back to your business, then again you realize that there's laxity there, then you have to look for other alternatives. But if you choose to get an insurance cover as an online freelance business person, and this is a private medical insurance cover alongside your national cover, then you realize that whenever such occurrences happen, then you can easily move to a private facility and have this issue sorted really quick. So for instance, with my boy, and something that could have taken a week or so ended up taking a month because of the funds issue and having to rely on a national cover. Of course, I learned from that and I was able to get a private medical cover, which I really encourage other online freelance business people to also secure in order to build their wealth. You don't want to be saving and having wealth and then at some point you realize that you get into a medical bill that requires you to chuck into your savings and all this hard-earned money to pay your bills, either for you or for your family member. So that is why insecurity is a potential danger that we have to really work on, and it is in terms of savings, because the business or the job can end at some point, and also in terms of your health, because you want to be able to also save and have that peace of mind that your health and the health of your loved ones are taken care of. Otherwise, I wish you all the best, and I will be sharing more about this again in my blog, and I look forward to interacting with you in other future videos, and make sure you subscribe. Till next time.